welcome to another episode of Kapows Arcade Adventures. In this episode, we're headed to Norfolk, Virginia to check out Pixels Pints and Bytes. Let's go. So this is the new Atari Pong that's been out. I did not realize that the table can, be lowered and raised. It is fantastic looking, and we're gonna check this out a little bit later. I'm here at Pixels Pints and Bytes in Norfolk, Virginia. We're on the main floor. They got a couple of cocktails down here. They've got a pretty cool row of classic games. We got Joust, Miss Pac, Donkey Kong Dig Dug, and Asteroids Deluxe, and Aerosmith Pinball on the end. I love the Virginia is for Gamers sign that they've got going on. And we'll get back to you guys a little bit later. First, we're gonna have some food, but we are definitely gonna check this out. And this is how it works. This is the attract demo mode. It is way cooler than I thought this would be. And we'll be back to you guys in a little bit. So we're upstairs now in Pixels, and as soon as you come up the stairs from down here, there's a great, awesome picture of Vigo from Ghostbusters 2. And then as soon as you come in, the first classic cabinet you see is a Dragon's Lair. It's a little torn up. The side art's peeling here and there, but everything else looks like it's intact. Looks pretty cool. Decent row of pins. We have Game of Thrones, Metallica, Master of Puppets, awesome game. Medieval Madness, Monster Bash, and Walking Dead. And then we've got a air hockey table over here. Some Mortal Kombat artwork on the wall. In the back room, we've got some skee ball going on. A couple of crane games. The Double Dragon. And then as you walk down this way, it's a really fantastic place. If you guys are in Norfolk, I highly recommend coming in. We got a Popeye. Really nice condition Popeye. We have a Frogger, Centipede. The Centipede, the trackball has been rebuilt. The control panel overlay is different than mine is on this one. This one's got like a really high sheen on it. It's not texturized. It's been replaced with an LCD, and then the bezel's also been replaced. And I think, yep, Frogger as well. Frogger's got an LCD in it, and so does Popeye. But the side art is really, the side art's been replaced on this as well. They have a Tempest, and this is definitely not a vector monitor. Wow, so they have an LCD in the Tempest. Also, this one has got, I wonder if these are Guscade machines actually.
So let me make a correction
I would
here.
Be willing to bet
these machines were reproductions, not even rebuilds, as you'll hear me call them throughout the video.
Tempest,
and I did mention that I thought initially that these were Guscade reproductions, but they actually were not.
Let me check out the joystick. Yep, and the Popeye. All of these are Guscade arcade cabinets. So they're reproductions, they're not originals, but it still has that same feel. Looking at the Tempest with this type of a screen in it, and this spinner that they've put onto it, comparing it to what I have at home in my house, I'm really not down with it at all. And I'm just now again noticing on the Centipede that you don't have the volcano buttons with the lights, that it's been replaced with these kind of cheesy player 1, player 2 buttons. But that's okay. Rampage looks decent that they have in here. Also another Guscade build, I'd be willing to bet. They have a Commando. What appears to be an original Karate Champ. This one does, no, I think this is also a rebuild. We've got Berserk, Pac-Man, 1942, a Missile Command, and a Defender. So the slightly disappointed, the place was advertised as a classic arcade game, restaurant, and now that I've seen all the machines, at least in this row up close, and I'd have to go back downstairs and look again, it appears that they're all Guscades that they've kind of put into here. On the other side of the room, we have NFL Blitz. Now this is an original cab. This is not a repro one. We have a Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam. The NBA Jam is actually, it's okay. There's a Simpsons, Turtles in Time, X-Men, Marvel, and a 4-player Gauntlet.
So once I figured out that all of the machines, with the exception of the Dragon's
right
Lair inside this place, were reproductions, I have to say that they're not as bad as what could be considered something like an arcade one-up, and they were definitely not what we would consider as hobbyists or purists to be a true representation of an 80s arcade game. But the look, the feel, and the play did give the nostalgia of being in an 80s themed arcade.
And then we're going to transition over into here. And they do have a tapper. We'll check this out. Some cool 80s themed movie posters, Dazed and Confused, Beverly Hills Cop, Breakfast Club, and the Goonies. Here's their tapper that they've got. This also is a rebuild with an LCD screen in it. Qbert, Mario Brothers, and a Burger Time. Alright guys, we'll get back to you later. So we're going to play against the machine and I'm going to get my butt kicked here. There we go. Up already. Alright, just tied it up. Oh, amazing. Look at this. Is pretty cool on this. I thought I had him. And that's it. Last credit, I lost. So after playing against the AI
really weird
and getting my butt whipped,
it's
I decided to go ahead and try and play against my buddy
It's
Garrett.
not video. You can see how the magnet kind of loses the ball a little bit, and then you have to actually press the fire button here. So, oh, look at that! See, I'm so amazing. You're gonna beat me twice. Oh! Oh, did I get you that one? Nice. So pretty cool. Light up cup holders, different kinds of colors. The Atari logo all over the place. The fact that the table can actually be raised up. I don't know if I would be willing to pay the price tag that comes with this for having it in my house. Now that I've actually played it, it's pretty cool. I don't know how long the novelty of this would actually last on me, and it takes up an enormous amount of space. But overall, really, really cool game. All right, so as I was saying earlier, we're at Pixels Bits and Bytes in Norfolk, Virginia, and when I first came in, you could see that some of the machines are up against the wall, and we thought that they were all classic machines. All of the cabs that they have in here, with the exception of Dragon's Lair, appear to be rebuilds. I thought they might be Guscades. I'm going to see if I can figure out who actually manufactured these for this particular bar. But the only actual true 80s classic game that they have in the shop is the Dragon's Lair that's upstairs. Now, all the pins are real pins, and they got a pretty decent collection of pins. And then it's the first place I've actually seen the Pong Atari remake table out in public to actually be played. So that was worth the trip, you know, coming in here tonight all by itself. So some of the other cool stuff that they have going on in here is up on all the TV screens. They've got the emulated like Sega Genesis, the NES Classic, and the Super Nintendo. So while you're sitting at the bar, you know, having a drink, you can actually play your own game, you know, while you're eating food and having your drink. And some of the artwork in here is pretty fantastic as well. So as far as a true 80s style arcade, it's 80s themed, but the cabs themselves are not classic machines.
That's it for this episode of Kapows Arcade Adventures. Please hit subscribe and stay tuned for future videos.